Hey guys, I needed to get you a video this week. So, as you know, it's been pretty crazy, right? Trying to do things during this whole zombie apocalypse, Cornavirus deal. Anyways, I want to do a video. So, this is going to be kind of like part vlog as far as like what's going on with me, what I've been doing. It's going to be kind of part me bitching, probably a lot of me bitching. I fucking hate people. I kind of want to just tell you kind of what I've been going through this week with just random ass customers, and maybe you guys have been going through the same thing, so maybe it will just help to hear that somebody else is going through the pains and struggles that you might possibly be going through. And I know it will help me just kind of get it all out, so that way I can just kind of get it out in the air and just deal with it from there. So my light just went out on one of my cameras. Man, what a week. God. Let me turn this light up a little bit. All right. Good enough for government work. So anyways, where do I start? Okay, so here's what I've been doing this last week. Haven't been doing any thrift stores or anything like that. Most of them are closed. There's some private thrifts that are open. But yeah, haven't been doing a ton of thrift stores. Where have I been getting my inventory? You know, I've already got some existing stuff in the warehouse, but I've got, you know, some liquidation people that I buy some stuff from. And I text them, what do you got? And they tell me, and then I go get it real quick and I bring it back. So that's kind of what I've been buying most of. You know, I didn't get into the whole like medical supply thing, masks, hand sanitizer, stuff like that. Not passing judgment on anybody that did. It just wasn't my bag. I just didn't get into it. I maybe sold like 5 masks total, 0 hand sanitizer. What I've been selling most of right now is like canned food. So I've been selling some canned food and stuff like that and things of that nature. I've been looking for a lot of other things too, so it's not, you know, I wasn't specifically going after canned food. But yeah, that's what I've been selling most of. And so one thing I've noticed over this time period is that the customers are morons. They are assholes. They're idiots. A lot of times you have problems dealing with customers anyways, but over this time period, they are especially freaking nuts. I don't know if you guys are getting this. You guys are getting messages about price gouging, about you should be ashamed of yourself, all this sort of stuff, right? You know, I don't care. And I think this comes from, you know, years of me reselling that I've become a little bit jaded about it and stuff like that. And let me tell you why. I'm not selling masks. I'm not selling hand sanitizer. If you can't get your damn Captain Crunch, then you need to buy some shredded wheat. You know, that sort of thing, right? So if you can't get your SpaghettiOs, buy some pasta and cook your kids some spaghetti. You know, don't come at me like I am the worst person on earth and you just want to take everything out on me. So here's what set me off is I got a couple messages earlier in the week, and I've learned this a long time ago that customers do not care about your business. They don't care about the costs. They don't care about anything like that. The majority do not. You will on occasion find a diamond in the rough that is sympathetic to you, and it will be like out of the blue and you're like, whoa, what? But it usually starts off with, you should be ashamed of yourself, da da da. It doesn't even say hi. It doesn't even start with hi. The simple niceties, you know, the stuff that's like, I don't know you, hi, hello, I'm having a problem. It is like you robbed their damn house, right? So they start off with, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are price gouging. I'm going to report you to the Attorney General. Da 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 da. Okay, so like I said, 2 messages set me off this weekend. They were both over the same product. They were over like SpaghettiOs, right? Oh my God. And they claim that they did not know when they made the purchase what they were actually purchasing. They didn't know it was for 1 can. Now it says 1 can, it shows 1 can, and in the description it has the weight of 1 can. So they did not know, right? That apparently is my fault. I don't know, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth and jumping all over the place, but how did we get to this point in the world where you not reading is my fault? Like, I'm not hiding anything. If there was something wrong, then I would definitely fix it because I messed up. But if everything's right, why is it my fault? Like, why, how did we get to this part? And I know how we did. We basically rewarded customers, or not us, but the platforms, the Amazons, the eBays, stuff like that, rewarded customers for bad behavior. And they rewarded them by giving them their money back, all that sort of stuff, instead of holding them accountable and going, no, listen, the listing says this, it is what it is. And on the same token with the sellers, like the sellers, need to be held accountable as well. Like, if you put something wrong in the description or the title or whatever, then yeah, man, it's your fault, dude. You need to cough up the money or give them the refund or whatever. So we got to this point with the customers just by basically bending over backwards. And again, not us, but the platforms bending over backwards and going, oh, you're pissed? Here's your money. Doesn't matter if right, wrong, indifferent, right? So now you've got these customers in this time period that are demanding that you make this right. That they saw the price, they saw what it was for, but it's your fault. And, no. I mean, it's like, come on. And so here's the mistake I made with the customers this week is I explained myself to a couple of them. Like I said, I've learned a while ago that customers do not care about your business. They don't care about your costs, anything like that. They just want their money. And so I was like, hey, here's my cost. Listen, if you just put this thing in an envelope, it is $7.80. You wouldn't like to get it like that. We wipe it down, we bag it. There's the box cost, there's the labor, there's the cost of the actual item. And oh yeah, Amazon takes a commission, right? So 70% of what you paid went to somebody else, not me. And plus, you're asking me to go out in the public because you don't want to. The convenience of me going and finding what you need and stuff like that, going into a public space, tracking it down, then going over to the post office, another public space to drop it off, that counts for nothing? I shouldn't make $2 or $3 off that? I mean, like I said, I'm not selling, medical supplies or anything like that. I'm not charging $70 for $1 hand sanitizer. I'm not doing anything like that. But people are trigger happy. The news has perpetuated it. It's just, and speak of the news, if you happen to see this, you have no permission for me to use this at all. I do not want to be on the news. You have zero permission. I give you zero permission to use any portion of this or the comments or anything. So that's on you if you use it. It's you've got zero permission. So FYI, I know you guys all saw the guy that had 17,000 hand sanitizers, right? I actually know that guy. And I've been in a private messenger group with him for, it's like a mastermind, but with about 10, 12 other people for a couple years. We're acquaintance friends. We're not, best friends. We don't hang out and go to each other's Christmas parties or anything like that, but we're acquaintance, know each other. And like I said, I'm not judging the hand sanitizer, all that sort of stuff, but going to the news and talking to the news in a situation like this is just stupid. That's my issue with that. So anywho, sorry. This is what happens in a rant, right? You pissed, you go all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it out. Ugh. But yeah, so anyway, so you're getting these messages, right? So every once in a while I fall into this trap with people where I go to explain myself to the customer when I should really just weigh it. Like, what did a can of SpaghettiOs actually cost me? Should I just refund her? Should I take a hard stance and say absolutely not? To me, it depends on the platform. Amazon is a nightmare. It is truly a nightmare. It is, you have people who are the customer support from some far off land somewhere, and they do not know anything about your business. They know less about Amazon than anybody. And not only can they not fix the issue, but they make incorrect assumptions and calls all the time. And not to mention Amazon's AI. So Amazon's AI, combs through stuff and just randomly kicks people off. So that combination of a perfect storm, you have to watch your responses on that. And sometimes you have to just go, hey, here's your money. But eBay, actually, you know what? I'm pretty firm on eBay. I've been backed up on eBay. Like, that's, kudos to eBay. Like, I know that not everybody has the same experience, but I've been backed up on eBay for the most part. Now, every once in a while, they will reward bad behavior from the customers, and I don't get it. I do not get it. Especially with a pair of shoes that I had sent before all this happened. The lady said that they were fake, and they were absolutely not fake. And that's like one of the only things I will fight on a return is like if you say something's fake and I know that it's not fake. She said it's fake, and she didn't do anything like you normally do. She didn't leave a shitty comment. She didn't send me a nasty email. She just kind of slid it in there, it's fake. And then when I gave her only 50% of her money back and took the shipping costs, she bitched to eBay and said, oh, come on, I don't get all my money back, because I was dissatisfied with the shoes and stuff like that. And so eBay gave me the money for me, but also gave her money. And that's not an argument to me. You know, like, oh, I was unhappy with the shoes, you should just give me all the money back. No. She said I was selling fake merchandise. Like, I was not. So don't reward her for that crap. So anyways, but here's kind of what I'm leading to, and I'm sorry that I'm all over the place and I'm pissed, and oh my God, it's been a week, it's been a week here. It's just, you have to distance yourself a little bit. And here's how I'm going to tackle the issue with customers bitching and complaining, right? First of all, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Second of all, they are going to, regardless of your explanation or what you do, they're still going to leave you a shitty review. They're still going to report you. They're still going to do all that sort of stuff because they are bitter assholes. So they're still going to do that. So what I'm going to do is just make up a generic response that is just kind of vague and not full of life, and just go, here's my cost, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to save it in Evernote. And then whenever somebody sends me a nasty message, copy, paste, completely emotionally disconnected from it. And if they respond, I will either just ignore the response or I will give them a refund, and that'll be it. I am not going to read their responses for the most part. This kind of strategy is a little bit like the way insurance companies handle things, and it's kind of crappy, but if you can't reason with people, then it is what it is. Insurance companies, when you submit an insurance claim, they're automatically, for the most part, supposed to deny your claim if it's anything, quasi out of the norm, and in hopes that you will go away and that you will not submit a second claim, third claim, whatever. So you have a higher chance of getting approved if you just ignore that first message and just keep at them. So that's kind of it, is I'm going to throw it back at them and say, nope, sorry, no returns on grocery items per Amazon's policy. There you go. And like I said, and if they come back and they're really nasty, then I'll just take a look at, how much stuff I actually sent them. And if I want to do a refund, I'll do a refund. And the way I'm looking at it now is that since the market price of items is more expensive right now, you'll make it up. So you kind of have to disconnect yourself from these idiots. And you'll make it up by selling other things to other people, and that sort of thing. And it's crazy what's going on here. And resellers have a position in the economy that's necessary. And I don't think people are understanding that right now, especially the news. The news will go with whatever story is, people are biting on. But resellers have a role in society, and the role is to get things for sale that you can't find elsewhere. If resellers weren't around, you would not be able to even have a choice of what to buy, right? Now, are you having to pay more? Yeah, you are having to pay more. It's a lot more work. It's, it's crazy. All the stuff that you're having to do to get this sort of stuff. So yeah, you have to pay for it, but at least you have a choice. At least you have a choice. That's the thing, right? So that's their role. Also, when things are in more demand and the price is higher, people bring things from outside that area to the area where things are more in demand. So all of a sudden you're getting these resources that you need, right? Because it doesn't make sense to have those things sitting in an area that aren't doing it. So that's the reseller's role, right? In times like this you can actually get your SpaghettiOs, dude. You can actually get your Captain Crunch if you want to and stuff like that. But the price is there to make people think, do I actually need this? Do I need this right now? Is this a necessity? If the price was too low, this stuff wouldn't even be available. Like, it literally wouldn't even be available. Somebody would have snapped it up. So the fact that the price is higher and resellers have found this stuff gives you an opportunity to actually even buy it. So that's the role. And so it's just, it's crazy what's going on here. So, oh my God, sorry. I didn't teach anything in this. I didn't do anything. I feel that's super productive, but I don't know. I just wanted to, I don't see enough resellers bitching and complaining, I guess. So I guess that's what I need to do, man. There's times where it just seems like you're in it alone and you're talking to people and, the people around you don't quite get it. And, all kinds of sort of stuff. And, oh, man, dude. And I guess let me talk about some other stuff that's going on, right? So my girlfriend's a doctor, and she is actually going to be on call next week in the hospital, right? So there's that going on. And there's, like 30 cases of this virus down the road at the hospital. So that's going on in my life. And then what else do we have going on? So I started thinking outside the box a little bit here. I started looking around at the various businesses in town, and I started thinking, okay, is there something I can do in partnership with them to, make things better, sell some stuff, just kind of whatever, help them, So I talked to a couple of businesses. I talked to a bourbon whiskey distillery, and they've laid off their entire staff. They gonna fall on hard times here probably. And so I reached out to them and I said, hey, listen, why aren't you making hand sanitizer? I go, the formula for it is mostly vodka, and it's a high proof vodka. The rest of it's like aloe. And so why aren't you making that and stuff like that? And they kind of went, oh, well, probably need a catalyst or something or whatever. But on my way home, I text the owner and I said, here's what hand sanitizer is selling for, right? You don't have to sell at that price, but there's got to be somewhere in between. I mean, people are dying for hand sanitizer right now, especially locally. And I go, here's what it's selling for. And I go, look at the companies getting into it now, Absolute, whatever. So this was a couple days ago before all the news and all the stuff, all the announcements from the distilleries saying, hey, we're getting into this, blah, blah, blah. So here I am, like, ahead of the curve, and I'm telling him about it. And he's just kind of like, I'd have to find aloe and stuff like that. So finally I went, hey, would you sell me the liquor and the high proof liquor, and I will make the hand sanitizer and stuff like that. And he didn't respond and stuff like that. So I kind of dropped it, and I thought, you know what? If he's not into it, I'm not going to force him, because I'm not going to buy all this aloe and then find out he's not even going to produce the booze, So that was one. I'll tell you why I'm saying this here in a little bit. This will come full circle. I went to a donut shop down the street, and I talked to the clerk that works there, because the owner wasn't there. And I said, hey, why aren't you guys making bread? I go, the bread aisles are empty here. I mean, not completely, but there's days you went there initially and then it was like totally empty. I'm like, why aren't you guys making bread? You guys practically make the equivalent of bread every morning. You make donuts, So he kind of quite didn't get it at first. He was kind of like, we don't really make bread. We've made it before and stuff like that and everything. And then I go, dude, listen, I want to buy bread from you. I want to buy tons of it and stuff like that, and just resell it locally. I mean, I've got some, stay-at-home moms that buy some shoes for me here in the warehouse, and they've got a ton of kids, and they're probably blowing through the bread and stuff like that, and I'll buy it for me. And so he went to pass the information on to the owner. Never heard from the owner. But here's why I'm mentioning this. In this time, you have to think outside the box. You have to buy crap that you've never thought about buying before. You have to look 2 or 3 products past the product that's selling right now. So, you have to bread's out of stock. Well, look at bread pans. Look at, bread makers, all that sort of stuff. People are starting to put up Christmas lights. If you guys saw my Instagram, you saw me put up my Christmas tree. So Christmas lights are starting to sell like it's, Christmas time. So, stuff like that. So start thinking stuff like that, right? You got to think, to survive this thing, you got to think different, right? So, yeah, man, I think I just got into this whole rant just to say, we're in it together, man. So we'll come out of it. We just need to think different and do things a little bit differently, and we need to weather everyone's bullshit. We don't need to put up with it, but we need to kind of keep emotionally distant a little bit on the topics ourselves so that we don't drive ourselves nuts. Because ultimately, and this is the hard thing about being a reseller, ultimately, we want to make sure that the customer is happy. I mean, that's really, we're trying to make money, but we really want the customer to be happy. And so I guess that's what's so hard about it is, getting real severe criticism when 70% of the money is going to Amazon and going to the post office and stuff like that. I guess that's why it's so difficult. So, oh my God, that feels so good to get it off my chest. Holy crap. Oh God. All right. So I'm going to take a breath now. I'm going to go home and eat. I'm going to drink my Starbucks canned mocha that I got from 7-Eleven. I'm going to turn on something relaxing like Fear the Walking Dead or something like that so that I can take a few notes. And yeah, I'm going home, man. I'm going to go home, start tomorrow fresh. But thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me bitch and complain. And like I said, man, if you're going through it, I'd love to hear it. Leave your comments on my YouTube video. And like, subscribe, clicky. And thanks for tuning in. All right, bye.